When you think of Russia, what comes to mind? For most people, the answer is war, cold, conflict, and a country painted with suspicion. That's the image Hollywood has created, but I'm here to tell you that image is not the full picture. I'm not saying Russia doesn't have its own struggles. It does, just like any country, but most of what the Western media shows is carefully crafted to push an agenda to make you fear what you don't understand. So I did what I always do. I booked a flight, I went to Russia, and what I experienced, it shocked me. The people, the culture, the kindness, it was nothing like I expected. In fact, Russia was more welcoming to me as a black traveler than some cities I visited in America. Now I know some of you will disagree, but I'm not here to convince you with words. I would rather take my time and show you proof and evidence so you can judge for yourself. Welcome to my channel. I'm Grey BTC. I've been traveling the world for over 8 years and I've visited more than 30 countries. In this video, I'll share my honest experience as a digital nomad living in Russia and why I now believe Russia is more welcoming to black people than America. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm and helps me keep telling stories like this. Let's get into it. First impressions. Yes, it's freezing. Let's start with the basics. Russia is cold. I landed in Moscow, one of the coldest capital cities in the world. The temperature during my visit dropped to around minus 10 degrees Celsius. That's around 14 degrees Fahrenheit. And yes, it hits you hard the moment you step outside the airport. The cold pushes you to adapt fast. I found myself going out to shop for proper winter clothes on day one. I jumped in a local taxi, headed to a shopping district and bought boots, gloves, coats, everything. And here's what stood out. Shopping in Russia is surprisingly affordable. Clothing stores were full of great winter wear, stylish and warm, but not overpriced. And everywhere I went, from shops to streets to taxis, people treated me with respect. No weird stares, no uncomfortable moments, just normal, peaceful interactions. That alone made me feel more relaxed than I have in parts of the USA. Here, no one made me feel like a foreign object. The culture, different but beautiful. Now let's talk about something deeper, the culture. Russian people are grounded. They're not flashy. They're not trying to be extra. And they don't fake smiles. At first, that might come off as cold, especially if you're used to the overly friendly culture in the West. But once you break through that layer, you find some of the most honest and helpful people you'll ever meet. They're not loud, they're not performative, they're just real. And as a black traveler, that matters, because when people are real, you can feel safe in your skin. I didn't feel judged, I didn't feel stared at. I felt accepted, quietly, respectfully, without a big fuss. You'll find videos and posts all over social media of other black travelers sharing the same experience. They're not being paid to say it. They're just finally sharing the truth that never makes the news. The scenery, calm and stunning. Russia is huge, the biggest country on earth. And with that size comes some of the most breathtaking natural beauty. Moscow alone will stop you in your tracks. The historic architecture, the frozen parks, the slow-falling snow over ancient streets. It's peaceful, not intimidating, not hostile. I walked through Red Square in the early morning. Snow falling, barely any noise. And for a moment, I forgot all the media noise. This country isn't trying to scare you. It's just living. I also visited cafes and bakeries where strangers would greet me, share their favorite meals, or simply smile and nod. In America, I've been followed around stores. In Russia, I was offered tea. It's small things like that that change your perspective. The food, simple, cheap, and nutritious. Now, let's talk about food. Russian food might not be as hyped as Italian or Thai, but let me tell you, it's real food. Nutritious, filling, and best of all, cheap. I had hot soups, fresh breads, grilled meats, and dishes like pelmeni and borscht, and they kept me warm when the temperature dropped. You don't find the same junk food obsession here like you do in the US. Most meals are made to give you strength, not a sugar rush. Even fast food spots were cleaner and more intentional. Eating out didn't feel like I was poisoning myself. It felt balanced, healthy, real. And again, no funny looks, no discrimination, just people, food, warmth. Listen, I'm not here to start drama or argue politics, but as a black man who's traveled for years, I can tell you from experience, Russia was more peaceful and welcoming to me than certain cities in the US. I'm not saying everyone should pack their bags and move. I'm saying don't believe every narrative you're fed. There's a world outside of the headlines. Russia has its problems, so does America. But if you come with respect and an open mind, Russia might surprise you too. This is Grey BTC, and this was my experience living as a digital nomad in Russia. If this video made you see Russia differently, hit that like button and subscribe. And check out my other video, Why Most People Get Stranded in Dubai. See you in the next one.